अष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया
भागवत सेवया
भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके
भवति उत्तम श्लोके
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी
तेर्भवति नैष्टिकी।
श्रीमद्भागवतम Canto 1 Chapter 17 Verse 15 अनागस्विह भूतेषु
अनावश्यभूतेषु
य आगस्कृन्निरङ्कुशा
निरङ्कर
आहर्तास्मि भुजं साक्षात्
हतास्मिन् भुजं साक्षात्
अमर्त्यस्यापि साङ्गदम्
तस्यापि साङ्गदम्
अनागस्विह भूतेषु
अनागस्विह भूतेषु
य आगस्कृन्निरङ्कुशा
यागस्कृणनिरङ्कुश
आहर्तास्मि भुजं साक्षात्
आहर्तास्मि भुजं साक्षात्
अमर्त्यस्यापि साङ्गदम्
तस्यापि साङ्गदाम्
अनागस्विह भूतेषु
नागश्व इह भूतेषु
य आगस्कृन्निरङ्कुशा
आगस्कृणनिरङ्कुश
आहर्तास्मि भुजं साक्षात्
आहतास्मि भुजं साक्षात्
अमर्त्यस्यापि साङ्गदम्
अमर्तस्यापि साङ्गदाम् अनागश्व इह भूतेषु
अनागस्त्व इह भूतेषु
आगस्कृणनिरङ्कुश
य आगस्कृन्निरङ्कुश
आहर्तास्मि भुजं साक्षात्
अहर्तास्मि भुजं साक्षात्
अमर्तस्यापि साङ्गदाम्
अमर्त्यस्यापि साङ्गदम्. Translation and purport is Divine Grace. Abhay Charana Ravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Synonyms. Anag shu iha to the fenceless.
Anagashu iha to the offenseless.
Bhuteshu living beings.
Bhuteshu living beings.
Here the person.
Yeah, the person.
Aghakrut commits offense.
Aghakrit commits offense.
Nirankusha upstart.
Nirankusha upstart.
Harta asmi I shall bring forth.
Harta asmi I shall bring forth.
Bhujam arms.
Bhujam arms.
Sakshat directly.
Sakshat directly.
Amartyasya api even one who is a demigod.
Amartasya api even one who is a demigod.
Sa angadham with decorations and armor.
Sa angadam with decorations and armor.
Gaura Hari. Translation. Please repeat after me. An upstart living being who commits offenses.
An upstart living being who commits offenses.
By torturing those who are offenseless.
By torturing those who are offenseless.
Shall be directly uprooted by me.
Shall be directly uprooted by me.
Even though he be a denizen of heaven with armor and decorations.
Even though he be a denizen of heaven with armor and decorations.
Purport.
Purpose. The denizens of the heavenly kingdom are called Amara or deathless due to their possessing a long span of life far greater than that of a human being. For a human being who has only a maximum 100-year duration of life, a span of life spreading over millions of years is certainly considered to be deathless. For example, from the Bhagavad Gita, we learn that on the Brahmaloka planet, the duration of one day is calculated to be 43 lakhs into 1000 solar years. Similarly, in other heavenly planets, one day is calculated to be 6 months of this planet, and the inhabitants get a life of 10 million of their years. Therefore, in all higher planets, since the span of life is far greater than that of the human being, the denizens are called deathless by imagination, although actually no one within the material universe is deathless. Maharaja is even such denizens of heaven if they taught the offenseless. This means that the state executive head must be as strong as Maharaja Parikshit, so that he may be determined to punish the strongest offenders. It should be the principle of a state executive head that the offender of the courts of God is always punished.
हरि ओम तत्सदोम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णवृषाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताक स्वामिनिधि नामिने नमो आचार्यपादाय निताय कृपाप्रदायिने गौरकथादामदाय नगरग्रामतारिणे नमो ओं विष्णुपदाय कृष्णवृषाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादे पाश्चात्यादे सतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरिहराय नाम कृष्ण यादवाय नाम हरे गोपाल गोविंद राम श्रीमधुसूदानाम मुखां करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परम् आनन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरं हरि ओं तत्सत्. Very beautifully Srila Prabhupada has explained the purport that how strong the king should be. And he also given the relative meaning of the Amara. We know that in the 14 planetary systems or in any cosmic manifestation of this material existence, even if you go to Brahmaloka, death is sure. So we used to say as sure as death. So which means that nobody can be in the sense of deathlessness is impossible. But here the denizens of heavenly kingdom are called Amara. Amara means deathless. So what does that mean? Prabhupada very beautifully explaining, comparing to the duration of the life. Okay, for example, an ant is living for 12 hours. So comparing to the ant's duration of life, for the ant, we humans are deathless. Similarly, the demigods, they live for millions of years, where we live for only 100 years. Our 1 year is just 1 day for the demigod. And what to speak of then Brahma, who is the longest lifespan holder, of course he lives for 100 years of his time, but then according to our solar years, it is 1 Sahasra Yuga Pariyandam, Imam Rajarshyo, Brahmano Viduhu. So this particular 1000 Chatur Yuga, which is 4300,000, that is 43 lakh years is 1 Chatur Yuga into 1000 becomes 1 day of Brahma, which is nothing but 12 hours of Brahma. Then there is night, another 12 hours for him. So 43 into 2000 years is 24 hours for Brahma. So comparing to our lifespan in front of Brahma's lifespan, where is 1 moment is 1 year here, and in demigods, our 1 year is 1 day for them. So we can call them deathlessness because Shastra also accept that kind of apparent comparison. So it is called deathlessness, but actually everybody will die. Brahma Bhuvana Loka. So whether you travel in different bodies to different planetary systems, starting from Brahma Loka to all the Tribhuvana, you will not spare your life from the death. Death will be there for even Brahma has to die. That we need to understand. So Amara means it is a relative term here. It is used in Sanskrit. So that is why Prabhupada, like Acharya, only can tell the meaning. We go with that this Sanskrit dictionary. Amara is deathlessness, so the demigods will not have any death. That will be a foolish assumption. But when you approach bona fide spiritual master through the parampara, we receive. In this place, Amara is specified to show that relatively they are almost deathlessness comparing to our lifespan. Just like in Bhagavad Gita, Duryodhana was addressed as a king. He was never a king. He was never a king throughout his life, but he was addressed as a king, like that. So we need to understand from the Acharya what is the real meaning of that particular term used in a particular words in the context, a given context. Only Acharya Parampara knows. That is a Evam Parampara Praptam. Just because you are a scholar and great scholar in Sanskrit, you cannot understand the verses of pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. That is impossible. Shraddho Hridaya Vrudyate Atra Kirtabhi Susroshu Vistakshanat. Submissively and attentively hear this Srimad Bhagavatam from the bona fide souls, then Krishna will be established within your heart. You can perform devotional service. So that is the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. Every syllable in Srimad Bhagavatam propagates the devotional service to Krishna, which should be ahaitukiya pratihata. That can only satisfy the self, yayatma suprasidati. Otherwise, if you do anything without bhakti, it is sramayevahi kevalam, waste of time only. So, such waste of time attempt should not be there. And here, very beautifully, Maharaja Parikshit is challenging, even if the such denizens of heaven, if they torture the offenseless. So this means that the state executive head is as strong as Maharaj Parikshit there, because he will punish the strongest offenders. Now, when you come to strongest offender, who is the strongest offender? Who is the strongest offender? If you come very beautifully, it is specified in the Shastra. When so it is said here that he may be determined to punish the strongest offenders. So that means we should know that offender of the courts of God is always punished. Which means we must understand that all the demigods, including Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, are all under the control of Lord Vishnu. Suppose a Vaishnava is offended, then that offender is punished by Vishnu, the Supreme Lord. No one can protect such a person. Even Lord Brahma or Lord Shiva, we have seen that example of Durvasha Muni, when he went to seek shelter at Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Why? Even Lord Narayana, unless otherwise Lord Vishnu desires, he cannot be saved. And Vishnu will desire only when the Vaishnava whom he committed offended will forgive him. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was instructing Rupa Goswami at Dashashwamedha Ghat. That is in Prayag. So he was talking very, he was pointing out the seriousness of offending a Vaishnava. Vaishnava aparatha. So the Vaishnava aparatha is compared to Hathi Matha. Hathi Matha means a mad elephant. When a mad elephant enters a garden, it spoils all the fruits and flowers. Exactly like that. If anyone offends a Vaishnava, he spoils all his spiritual assets. Offending a Brahmana, a Vaishnava is also a Brahmana, is very dangerous. And this was known to Maharaja Parikshit, and Kali was offending. Cow gives milk, and cow is protected by Krishna. And whom does Krishna protect? Satvatampati. All the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord are protected by Krishna. Boldly declare Arjuna, Name Bhakta Pranashati. My devotee will never perish. He has no danger. He will protect. So, cow is protected. Cow Brahmanya idhayacha. Cow is very dear to Krishna, and cow gives milk, and the milk is the only source of getting transcendental brain tissue. There is no other way. Your mother milk also will not give you transcendental brain tissue, but cow milk will give you transcendental brain tissue. That means you can understand the spiritual values of life and God and Vaishnavas by drinking cow milk. So the cow is such a wonderful, soft sadhu animal, and if that is being tortured, how can especially a Vaishnava like Parikshit, who is also powerful Raja Rishi, will tolerate? So this is very important. Very important. And Maharaja Raghugana was getting instruction from Bharat Maharaj. After hearing the Bharat Maharaj, Maharaja Raghugana understood that he was offending Jada Bharata, who is a pure Vaishnava. So he frankly admitted. He says that there are so many dangerous things: thunderbolts, fire, Yamaraja's punishment, the punishment of Lord Shiva's trident, and so on and so forth. But none is considered as serious as offending a Brahmana like Jada Bharata, who is a Vaishnava. This is very important point that we should take from Maharaja Raghugana. So immediately Maharaja Raghugana, he descended from his palanquin and fell flat before the lotus feet of the Brahmana Jada Bharata. So we must take the examples from these particular great personalities and understand that how important it is. Now, coming back to the point, strongest offenders, here it is mentioned, okay, who is the strongest offender? According to the law, that is greatest offender, the greatest criminal, according to law, who is that? If a policeman kills, his offense and his punishment is greater than an ordinary man killing. That is the law. So, constant chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Nowadays, you see, the Kali Yuga is so prominent that people don't keep the name of the gods, Narayana or Vishnu from Vishnu Sahasranama. They keep Pinky, Chinky, Donkey. I don't know what all names they are keeping. But actually, generally the parents, our culture is that they keep Krishna's name from the like Narayan Das, Govardhan Das, Giridhari Das, Krishna Das, like that. Thousands of Vishnu's names are there. Vishnu Sahasranama. From there, they pick up the names people and then keep the children's name according to that, so that indirectly or directly, these parents, they would be able to chant the holy name of the Lord. That was a process actually. And by doing this, he will gradually develop Krishna consciousness. That's a very purpose of life. At every moment, they just keep the progress of Krishna consciousness in life, even an ordinary human being, by keeping their child's name as Vishnu's name. So that he can keep calling back and he becomes sinless and he becomes Krishna conscious gradually. Bunchana prapibhan khadan balakam sneha yandrita. Srimad Bhagavatam says, by affection, some way or other, we have to increase our affection for Krishna. Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. Love of Godhead is most important. And yesterday in Guru Maharaj's class, we understood that without the mercy of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there is no way to get the secret love. Only by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's secret, it is possible. Otherwise, we should not. And about offenders also, we heard yesterday, the Kutinati offenders. The Ninda, Vaishnava Ninda, Kutinati offenders, criticizing other living beings, finding fault in others. They are like people who are swimming in the ocean of donkey urine. We must understand how dirty it is to even, we can't imagine. So practically, people, those who are offending are like that. We need to understand from that. Unless otherwise Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy is there, it is not possible to get the secret love of Godhead. So, through the channel of affection of one's son or children, the people were trying to increase their Krishna consciousness by keeping the names of kids as Vishnu's name. But nowadays in Kali Yuga, is so much so that they even fail to do that. They fail to do that. Just see. Sa evam vartamanojno mrityu khala upastithe matim chakhara thanaye bhale narayana vaye. So this is very important, because when a person is at the point of death, according to his conditioned state, naturally he had affection for his son. So this Ajamila, he kept his youngest son Narayana, and so he was calling his son Narayana, 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 please come here, please come. So this is very natural, very natural. So Srila Prabhupada, in one of his lectures, Srila Prabhupada was narrated a small pastime that happened in his personal life. So Prabhupada says that his father, when he was dying, Prabhupada was not at home. So Srila Prabhupada's father lived one day to see Prabhupada. Just see. He lived one day to see Prabhupada. And he was always inquiring whether Abhay has come back, like that. So this is called parental affection, that shows that at the time of death, they are very affectionate to their kids. So it is customary that they keep the names of Lord Vishnu, so that they will remember the names of Lord Vishnu. Ajamila also we saw. Ajamila, he was calling out Narayana, Narayana. In Bhagavad Gita, it is very clearly said in 8th chapter, Yam Yam Vapismaran Loke. So, Tejatante Kalevaram. This practice means at the time of death, if one can remember Krishna, Narayana, then the whole life is successful. That is the main thing. So, we need to, that is when Kali Yuga, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy is unlimitedly and freely given to one and all. Simply by invoking the chanting of this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you will get the secret love. This is the greatest boon that Lord Chaitanya has given. Neither before him nor after him, it is possible to get this love by, in the material world for anybody. So, Vaishnava, a pure devotee, should never be offended. In fact, we don't have a right to offend any living entities, what to speak of a pure devotee. So here Parikshit Maharaj was immediately, taken aback. How come cow, which is giving a milk that gives a, transcendental brain tissue, is being offended by Kali? So he could not tolerate. So he is considering him as the strongest offenders because he was wearing the dress of a king. So the person who is in the responsible post to avoid offenses, if he commits offenses, that is considered greater offense than the same offense considered by an ordinary person. So practicing Krishna consciousness, if someone offends a Vaishnava, it is the greatest offense. An ordinary person who is non-devotee, if that person is offending a Vaishnava, though it is offense, intolerable, but it is not having that intensity comparing to one who knows who is a Vaishnava and then offender. This is very, very important to take from this purport, the strongest offender. So never ever commit offense even by mistake, unknowingly also to Vaishnavas, those who are chanting the holy name of the Lord and those who are propagating the holy name of the Lord. Thank you very much. Any questions or comments or realization, please do share with us. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Thank you very much for the association. We'll resume our class tomorrow morning, 7:30, and resume Srimad Bhagavatam class. Till then, Grandra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Patita Pavan Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vaishnav Pranam. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Guru Maharaj ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari.